Craving sophistication? Introducing the newest lifestyle app on Roku. Dive into reviews, behind-the-scenes craftsmanship, and the secrets of aficionados. This isn't just an app, it's an experience. Download the app now on the Roku store.
Cigars are more than tobacco. They're tradition, craft, and community. Every person in this industry has a story, and every story deserves to be told. This is Uncut, the full, unfiltered conversations with the people behind the cigars you know and love. From brand owners and blenders to reps and lounge owners, we sit down to hear their journey in their own words. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on socials at CigarTV. And remember, cigar culture never stops. For news, updates, full episodes, and how to watch, visit CigarTV.com. Stay smoky.
Hello, my name is Jack Bennington. I'm president of Bennington Tobacconist Incorporated, established in October 1965. We're located on St. Armand Circle in Sarasota, right across from Crab and Fin Seafood Restaurant.
Awesome. Share a little bit about your background, where you grew up, a little bit about your upbringing.
Yeah, born in Cleveland, Ohio, 1955. Moved down here in 64 and my mother and father started into the business in 65, built out this store here. I started working part-time as a pipe tobacco blender in about 1968, and we used to blend on our own blends about 3,500 pounds of our own tobaccos mixtures. My hands were yellow when I went to school. People wondered, what's wrong with this kid? He's got the oils of the tobacco in his hands for blending so much pipe tobacco. But, so went to college, USF, University of South Florida, started in 73, graduated in 76. And then my mother passed away with cancer. And then it was my father and I, and then my brother worked together pretty much up to now. Yeah.
Cool. Do you know what inspired your family to get into the cigar industry and the tobacco industry?
That's a great question. My dad was a contrarian. Told him to do something, he wanted to do the opposite. 64 Surgeon Generals came out and said, don't smoke, it's going to kill you. Everybody said, why are you going into the tobacco business? Surgeon General just said everybody's going to stop smoking. My dad said, good, there won't be any competition. I'm going to go in. Everybody that told them, don't do it, they all went out of business. Here we are, almost 60 years later, we're still in business. Good to be a contrarian, that's how you make money.
Awesome.
Buy low, sell high.
Give me a specific moment from your childhood that you can remember outside of the yellow hands growing up in a tobacco shop.
Specific moment?
Any moment that you can just think of right now that brings back some memory.
I had met Walter Cronkite. Walter Cronkite was a world-renowned newscaster with CBS. And he came in, he loved a sailboat, and he pulled up over here in Sarasota Yacht Club. And I was thinking, boy, this is Walter Cronkite. So I tried to sell him a pipe because he smoked a pipe. Wound up selling him a pipe, tobacco, and he said, Jack, he said, I'll take this pipe and tobacco, but you got to promise me one thing. I said, what is it, Mr. Cronkite? He said, don't tell my wife I bought this pipe. I said, okay. So here's this guy, this, legend, but yet his wife is the one who must be obeyed. I got it. And he stayed married that way.
Talk about some of the challenges, you and your family have faced, owning a tobacco shop, owning a cigar shop. Talk about some of the challenges.
Well, it used to be anti-tobacco was very popular. This was prior to the 90s when the big cigar boom happened. So people would walk by the store and they'd spit in the store. I can remember I met a schoolmate at a class reunion. He was in the phosphate business. He says, you and I, are sort of alike. He said, people think that we're killing things. And he says, I get a lot of remarks about being in the wrong business. It was unpopular to smoke, back in the 70s, 80s, when everything was natural in the 80s. That turned around since then, back in the 90s and the 2000s. But still, there was that sense that people didn't like you. You didn't want to tell them what you did. Now, granted, if you went down to Nicaragua, a whole different concept. They like the tobacco. Or Cuba. They love the tobacco. There's nicotine in their veins when they're born. So So that would probably be the only thing that stuck out. It just didn't seem right to be prejudiced against something.
What advice would you give to a first-time cigar smoker?
I would say if you're going to enjoy anything in life, the best thing is to do is to study it and to learn it, to know what you like and why you like it. You know, what the wrapper is, where the wrapper comes from, what the country is. It's a lot like wine. You know, you can get wine from New Zealand, and then you can get wine from South Africa, and they're going to be different. If they're both a Chardonnay, because the land and also the atmosphere, it changes the way the wine is. So if you like Dominican cigars and you want to venture out, then go with a Dominican blended with Nicaraguan. And so you get a whole different variable in there and learn what you like. And then you can tell when you come into the store, it's very helpful if you know what brand you smoked and maybe even what shape you smoked, because that helps the professional give you advice as to what to guide you and what you might want to try. So that's very important.
Talk about the differences between smoking a pipe and smoking a cigar. Which one you prefer, and why maybe somebody would choose one over the other?
With a cigar, you have an affair. And with a pipe, you're married. It's because you take a cigar, you cut the cigar, you light the cigar, you smoke the cigar, you throw it away. It decomposes on its own. With a pipe, you know, you get the pipe, and then you get the cleaners, and then you get the tampers, and then you've got to pack the pipe, and you might overpack the pipe, so that means you've got to take it all apart and put it back together again. It's like building a campfire. You got to get it right. Now, certain people, like meticulous people, or calm people, or contemplative people, they love pipes, because they like all the details. Whereas other people, you know, they just want to get it, do it, done. So it's a personality. But pipes are interesting and they're fun, you know, and the tobacco, as far as strength goes, the cigar leaf is just a more powerful cousin to the pipe tobacco and cigarette tobacco plant. So you just get a lot more flavor in the cigar plant.
Do you have a pipe collection?
Yes, I have. One thing about pipes is when you buy them in your 20s, you think you're going to outlast them, but then you're looking at the pipe when you're in 70s and you go, this pipe's going to outlast me. So I didn't know that when I bought it. But yeah, I have a pipe my mother gave me back in 72. She passed away in 76, so I got, you know, lighter from her that she gave me. So the thing about pipes is, yeah, they'll last a long time if you treat them right. Yeah, so pipes are a little bit different.
What advice would you give to anyone looking to open their own cigar shop?
You better want to work. If you don't want to work, you shouldn't be in any company, because you think you own the company owns you. You're owned by the company. And it's not easy. It's anybody will tell you that's successful, it's not easy. You know, the chef's got to be in the kitchen, and so the owner has got to be, or somebody comparable has to be on premise. And so that's all. You take it from there. Work.
So what do you look for in a good quality cigar?
First thing I check is the bunch. With everybody that buys here, if I grab the cigar, I check the bunch. So it's like buying an avocado. If you've ever eaten avocados, you're going to buy an avocado. You want to look, see if it's got any soft spots. You don't want to eat a rotten avocado. Most people don't. So you feel the bunch of the cigar. If it feels solid, but not hard as a rock, then that's what you check for. That's the first thing. Then I smell it. Not lit, it's not cut. You just smell the cigar, smell what the leaves smell like. And they should be ripe. They should get you excited. Like, this smells good. That's the first part. You haven't even cut it. Then you cut it. I like a guillotine cut. Then I do a dry draw. You just want to taste what the tobacco tastes like before you light it. You know, with a Cuban tobacco, we talked about Cuban tobaccos. As soon as you put it in your mouth, you know that cigar's different. I said, this is different. Tastes different. So you can get the taste. I think Carlito Fuente will tell you he'll take a little cap of tobacco and put it in his palate to get the palate ready for what he's going to smoke. You can ask him about that. But yeah, and then from there it's pretty much, you know, you light it, and then you because you've done your homework already, you know it's going to burn good, and yeah.
If you were to create your own perfect cigar, what filler, binder, and wrapper would you choose?
Oh wow. The wrapper, I love Sumatran Ecuadorian seed wrapper. And you'll find that in La Gloria Cubana, Tatuaje. You'll find it on this Millennium blend up here. On Lito Gomez, La Flor Dominicana, you'll find it on his Ligero, double Ligero. That wrapper, I first experienced it by a guy who created the La Gloria Cubana line in Miami, Carrillo, Ernesto Carrillo. He does great cigars too. That guy's a blender. And so he used Ecuadorian Sumatran way back in the 90s. Nobody knew about it. But it's a wonderful cigar. The binder, everybody likes the Mexican. You can use a San Andreas Mexican binder. And then you'd have to put, for a perfect cigar, you'd have to put some Cuban tobacco in there. Absolutely some Cuban tobacco. That would just blow it away. So I guess the best cigar on the planet, I haven't smoked yet. Besides, because once they get the Cuban tobacco, you're going to have better cigars than you've ever had. And then the filler could be Dominican, Nicaraguan. Love Nicaraguan tobacco. Gives you depth, real depth.
In your opinion, where does the best tobacco come from?
Well, the best tobacco on the planet comes from Cuba. And I think all of the Fuentes, the Padron, I think all of them will agree, because that's their homeland. That's where it thrives from. But then Nicaragua has fantastic tobaccos. Honduras has fantastic tobaccos, and so does Dominican. But then it comes to the artwork of blending them. And that's where the expertise comes in, the artists come in. Like Ernesto Carrillo, he's a blender. He blends with passion. His cigar, so is Carlito and Padron. Yeah, it's not like a formula, like a chemist. You know the cigars that are the best when they have the passion in them.
The newest lifestyle app is here. Share the passion, the rituals, and the stories that bind us. From rare blends to legendary lounges, this is where the bonds thrive. Join us and add the app now on the Roku store.
You can love something and have passion for something, but the passion can sometimes drift away. Mm-hmm. How do you stay passionate about cigars?
That's a good question. And that's a good, like a life question, even. How do you stay passionate? I think it is discipline. Yeah, discipline is very important. What you do, how you do it, and it comes from incremental steps. People wonder why a fireman has to go out and clean the engine, has to go out and wash the cement driveway, has to go up and shine all of the things on the fire engines. So what they're teaching them is discipline, so that when they have a fire, they're going to be disciplined as to how they've been trained to do the fire. So you go through your life like that. You get up, you do brushing your teeth, you exercise, you stay on a regimen, you select something as a goal, and then you carry on with it, discipline. And then the passion, will be there even when it's not. It'll pick it back up because you're in the habit of having passion. Some people are just born with it. But some people have to work hard for it.
The newest lifestyle app is here. Share the passion, the rituals, and the stories that bind us. From rare blends to legendary lounges, this is where the bonds thrive. Join us and add the app now on the Roku store.
So what trends in the cigar industry have you seen blossom over the last year or two?
Well, that's over the last year or two. Yeah. You know what's happening? It used to be the most popular cigar size in the shape was a Corona. It was like a number 4 Monte Cristo. It's like 5.5 with a skinny ring, 44, 46 maybe. In the past decade, rings are 60 ring. There's 70 rings. They're so big, you got to put a straw in it to smoke it, because you can't put it in your mouth, right? So what we've seen lately, people are going back to Coronas. They're going back to like Tatiana Corona Gorda, which is like 5.5 with a 46 ring. So we're seeing a trend towards smaller cigars, shorter cigars, and also thinner cigars. The most popular size is the Toro 6.5, 6 with a 52, right in there. But more and more people want smaller cigars. They don't have the time, maybe some other reasons, stress, but yeah. So I would say the size is changing.
Talking about the shop itself and community, what events or activities do you guys host to engage with the community, if any?
Well, we participate with the local business community through the Merchants Association. And so they're constantly doing, especially off-season, car shows, and events for Halloween, events for Easter, etc. Okay, so we're involved in the business community. As far as charities go, historically we've been involved with just about every single one. I mean, we've done events, fundraising events for the Red Cross and Sarasota Memorial Hospital. We've done fundraising events for United Way, Easter Seals, and on and on. So it's good. It's good. I can just say it's good. If you're going to be in business, be involved in the community so that the community will be involved with you. It's good business sense.
How do you feel cigars connect people?
Well, cigars connect people because it's like a camaraderie, even between men and women. A lot of women smoke cigars. But when they have a connection because they have a commonality of interest. And then they can talk cigars, whether they like, a Dominican cigar or a Honduran cigar or where they buy their cigars. So it brings people together. Cigar smoking brings people together. Now you have your anti-smokers, and it's better to be approached by one anti-smoker and 5 cigar smokers. Because they generally won't say too much.
What are your current thoughts on the overall direction of the cigar industry?
The cigar industry has always been under siege, and it's under siege right now. And it's good to have organizations that stand up for the rights of people who are using a legal product. Specifically the FDA, that we're now under the Food and Drug Administration, they want to get rid of all flavored cigars, just as they got rid of all flavored cigarettes except for menthol. And they can do it by regulation. Nobody could vote on it. You don't have to vote. They just do it by decree, and they can say flavored cigars are illegal to sell. That means everything that's flavored in here, and there's a lot of flavors, we'd have to put under the counter to sell. So, very difficult. Yeah, especially if you see what's happening in Europe and how they're being regulated. So it's something we have to fight.
Talk about being in St. Armand's Circle. What is it like being in business in St. Armand's Circle?
There's no better place to be than St. Armand's Key for a lot of stores and restaurants. It's in the focal point of the lap of wealth. There's wealth all around. It's location, location, location. Roads come together. And it's exciting. It's historic. Will be 100 years now, of which we participated 100 years since the establishment of the Circle back in 1925 by John Ringling. And so wouldn't want to be any other place but St. Armand's Circle.
Awesome. Talk a little bit about that. Talk about when people come and visit here, you can stop at one of the beautiful restaurants, one of the many beautiful restaurants, and then come here and get your dessert.
One thing nice about St. Armand's Circle, it has some of the finest restaurants in the whole city, in the whole county. And it's in a circle, and it's safe. You can walk around, and you can get something for everybody. If you want to have a gourmet dinner, you can. If you want a really fantastic natural pizza, you've got that. You can bring the kids. There's things to do. And a lot of entertainment, just going into the different stores, seeing things you've never seen, very focused. So safe. So it's a wonderful place to shop, and you don't even have to spend any money. I mean, you can just come out and look and get ideas. But the food is great, the beverages are great.
Awesome.
It's wonderful, Florida.
Yeah, and then stop in here after, right?
Yeah, it happens a lot at night, because we're open till 9.
Okay.
So people, they get a dinner, they walk around, I think go grab a cigar. So.
Awesome. Tell the people, can they shop online? Can they buy stuff online?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. We've had a website since the late 90s. I think we put it together like in 96 or 98. It was Netscape and all these different things. You might not remember, maybe you do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Benningtons.com is our website, www.benningtons.com. And you can buy almost everything online that you can get in the store. That's not cigarettes, of course, but yeah, and we've been doing that a long time. We've had mail order business since the beginning. Toll-free numbers since they came out in about 82. So yeah, it's very, very good to have an extra income flow revenue flow. If you're ever in Sarasota, you should come to St. Armand Circle. A lot of other nice places to go to also, but St. Armand Circle is nice. And it's established, like we've talked about, for about 100 years. You can find almost anything you want here, a good time especially. So, and we're located at 5 Fillmore Drive, right across from Crab and Fin, and come in and say hello, saw the interview, you did a good job or you didn't, and I look forward to meeting you.
So the way cigars, you've been around a long time, your business has been around a long time. The way cigars have been marketed has been through paper ads, Cigar Aficionado, and then now social media. How do you feel like a TV channel surrounding cigars can help promote the industry more?
I think a TV channel is a fantastic idea, and I can't understand why anybody didn't pick up on it yet. You've done your homework, obviously, so there's no illegality in what you're doing, but I think it's perfect, and the timing is perfect. And I think you're going to be very, very successful in what you're doing, and you're good at what you do, too. My name is Jack Bennington at Bennington Tobacco on St. Armand Circle, Sarasota, and you're watching CigarTV.
Slow down and savor the moment. The newest lifestyle app is finally here. We bring the art of it all to your screen. From lounges to master blenders, we feature it all. Find the app in the Roku streaming store and start watching today.